Tupac.
Tupac Shakur.
The Tupac case is simple.
There's not going to be anybody charged with his murder because the shooter's dead.
Tupac Shakur was murdered just off the Strip. He just left a Mike Tyson fight. He was sitting in a car at the intersection of Koval and Flamingo when he was shot. He was taken to UMC. He died 6 days later. No arrests have ever.
Tupac Shakur wasn't just a rapper. He was a poet, a rebel, a visionary, and a voice for the voiceless. He wasn't just a part of the culture. He was the culture, a straight-up phenomenon.
What would you like them to know about you in 1996, Tupac now?
That I'm a Gemini. Me being a Gemini, I am the classic case of a Gemini. You know what I mean?
No, what does that mean?
It means that I'm quiet, I could be calm, quiet, and very into my work, and totally focused and totally disciplined and boring. You know what I mean? Or I could be fun, but dangerous.
But behind the music, the fame, and the drama, there's a story of struggle, passion, and a tragic end that shook the world.
And we ain't speak, and then he got shot. And I woke up and I saw that, and I jumped up, got up, ran, got a cab, got to the hospital, and he had just left.
This is the untold story of Tupac Shakur, raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Born June 16, 1971, in East Harlem, New York, Tupac Amaru Shakur's life was full of hardship from the jump. His mother, Afeni Shakur, was a Black Panther activist who fought for justice, even while she was pregnant with Tupac. But that fight came with its cost: poverty, instability, and always having to move. Tupac once said, "I didn't have a childhood. I was born a man." His family's activism and the harsh reality of inner-city life shaped him into a thinker, a dreamer, and a fighter. But it also planted the seeds of rebellion that would define his life and career. Tupac's talent was undeniable. He started as a backup dancer and roadie for Digital Underground, then exploded onto the scene with his solo debut, Tupacalypse Now. His raw lyrics and unapologetic storytelling made him a force to be reckoned with. His music hit hard, sparking controversy, but also resonating with millions. Tracks like Brenda's Got a Baby and Keep Your Head Up showed his gift for mixing social commentary with real emotion. But as his star rose, so did the drama. Tupac was a magnet for trouble, and his life was about to take a darker turn. In 1992, he sued the Oakland Police Department for $10 million after they allegedly beat him during a traffic stop.
As my video was debuting on MTV, I was behind bars getting beat up by the police department. I got a $10 million lawsuit. They said they would settle with me and everything. You know what I'm saying?
That incident became a symbol of the systemic racism and police brutality Tupac rapped about.
For all the people that doubt me, I had no record all my life, okay? No record, no police record, until I made a record.
I really don't like crooked police.
Okay. So you feel okay about other police?
Feel okay?
You like other police? You just don't like crooked police? Is that your statement?
I like everybody that just does their job.
Although he settled for $42,000, the case solidified his rep as a fighter for justice, but it also made him a target. The next year, Tupac's life took another dark turn when he was accused of sexual assault in a New York hotel room. Tupac maintained his innocence, claiming the encounter was consensual, but the case dragged on. In 1995, he was convicted and sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison.
Can you tell me how you're doing today?
Well, I just had to listen to the prosecution's closing argument, and it was just so far from the truth that it really just has me drained at the end of the day. But I'm leaving it in the hands of the jury. I'm learning a lot about people's innermost fears in this trial, because it's not even about my trial no more. It's just about loud rap music, tattoo having thugs. It's not even about me no more. It's about, some nightmare that these people having.
She's talking about thug life and all that, trying to...
He's definitely guilty. Anybody with thug life tattooed on their stomach is guilty. What type of reasoning is that? You know what I'm saying? We got different backgrounds, we come from two different places. Just because I look different than her doesn't mean that I'm a sodomizer or a raper. They've said it in the, I can't understand why it's this close. They talking about there's no evidence that I ever sodomized her, even though you put that all over the paper. And every time they take a quote out of this courtroom, they take a quote from out of her mouth, which is, you know, the stuff to put me in jail. It's nothing that's been true. I just want print the facts so everybody can sort it out. My life is ruined because nobody has a chance to get the facts.
And the fact is that there was no semen found.
No semen found, no forcible entry, no entry into the anal, no nothing, none of that. You know,
and no fingerprints on the gun.
No fingerprints on the guns, you know what I'm saying? The only time ever there was an act of sodomy, she admitted she did it to me. I should be, you know, putting charges on this girl who sodomized me on the floor of a dance club. Why?
The trial split fans. Some thought it was a setup, while others questioned Tupac's character. But while behind bars, Tupac spent time reflecting on his life, writing poetry, and making some of his most introspective lyrics. These two cases, one against the system, the other against his own reputation, highlighted the duality of Tupac's life. A voice for the oppressed, yet a man constantly battling his own demons. On November 30th, 1994, Tupac was shot 5 times in the lobby of Quad Studios in New York. Officially, the motive was robbery, but Tupac believed it was a setup orchestrated by his rivals Biggie Smalls and Sean Diddy Combs. The shooting deepened Tupac's paranoia and fueled his infamous East Coast-West Coast feud. Tupac, now signed to Death Row Records, became the face of the West Coast, while Biggie and Bad Boy Records represented the East. Tupac's diss tracks like Hit 'Em Up and his public accusations against Biggie and Diddy turned the tension up. It wasn't just about music, it was personal. Tupac even claimed Biggie and Diddy knew about the Quad Studios shooting beforehand, a claim that only made the beef worse.
Weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago because we've been beat these. It's not.
The East Coast-West Coast war dominated hip-hop in the 90s, but it came with tragic consequences. While serving his sentence, Tupac had a profound transformation. He read, he wrote, and he reflected. It was during this time he released Me Against the World, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, making Tupac the first artist to do so while incarcerated. But his redemption came at a cost. To secure his release, Tupac signed with Death Row Records, a decision that tied him to the volatile world of Suge Knight and the West Coast rap scene.
We talk about Death Row East, what is exactly happening, and what can we expect from it?
You believe in God?
Certainly.
Believe in Death Row East. Believe in that, for real.
Tupac's association with Death Row and the Bloods gang only added to his controversial image. Some saw it as a survival tactic in a dangerous industry, while others criticized him for glorifying gang culture. Tupac's loyalty to Death Row and his public feuds made him a target, and many believe that's what ultimately led to his untimely death.
That me add my link to Death Row, this chain would be unbreakable, unstoppable, and we would make more money than any black artist in the music business ever made.
On September 7, 1996, Tupac's life was cut short in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He was only 25 years old. The shooting remains one of the most infamous, unsolved crimes in music history. Was it gang-related, a result of the East Coast-West Coast feud, or something deeper? Conspiracy theories run wild. Some believe Suge Knight orchestrated it to avoid paying Tupac his death row earnings. Others point to the Bloods and Crips rivalry, or even the government, considering Tupac's outspoken activism.
The last word is always God, but Pac saved my life. The reason why I say Pac saved my life, I got shot in the head, I got grazed some other places, but I still got the bullet in my head. It's still there. But for as trying to get him to the hospital, didn't make me realize that I was shot. Because usually when you get shot in the head, the first thing the person do is panic. You know, bam, I'm shot in the head, I'm about to die, you know. And once you do that, you can't drive nowhere. My whole thing was, Pac, he was shot. I'm like, you shot? I'm gonna get you to the hospital. I'm driving, telling him I'm gonna get you to the hospital, kick back. Pac looked at me and said, you know what? You need the doctor more than me. You the one shot in your head. And we laughed the whole time going to find out I went to the hospital. That's the conversation we had. It wasn't, Pac was a man the whole time. It wasn't that he was like, oh, I'm shot.
them. Despite countless investigations, the truth remains unknown. Tupac's death left a hole in the world of hip-hop and beyond, but his legacy keeps sparking debates and inspiring new generations. Tupac once said, "I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the brain that will change the world." And spark he did. From his music to his activism, Tupac's influence is everywhere. He may be gone, but his spirit lives on. We look at death from a selfish side, like that person died. It's so sad. But why is it sad? They're away from all the bad stuff on earth. At the worst, they're somewhere quiet, doing nothing. At best, they're an angel, or they've moved on to...
We look at death from a selfish side, like, you know, that guy died. Oh, it's so sad. Why is it sad? He's away from all of this bad stuff that's here on earth. At the worst, he's just somewhere quiet, no nothing. At best, he's an angel, or he's at the next existence, or he's a spirit somewhere, you know. What is so bad about that?
I wish that my son was here and that he could go and lie down in my bed and come out of my room and say, "Ma, what'd you cook?" I miss his being. He was my son, and I miss him as my baby, my boy, who I loved, respected, appreciated. He was my friend. He called me up in the middle of the night after he done had a hot date.